Yo, what's good everyone? Happy Monday. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NHL DFS slate for November 21st. We got ourselves a massive 10-game slate here to kick off the week, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up the video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals, where you can see two of these games are coming in with an implied total of 6.5 goals, and then the other 8 games all coming in at 6 goals even. And then directly above me there, I got the Vegas odds, so you can see who's favored to win tonight. Now, before we dive into a couple of my favorite line stacks here, just want to give you a quick little vacation update. I am back in Minnesota here for the next 5 days, after being in Canada this past weekend, recording out of my sister and brother-in-law's house. Nice little backdrop there with Josh Allen, though. Certainly don't mind that. But in terms of content this week, obviously going to have an NHL video out today. I will not have one out for the 2-game slate tomorrow on Tuesday, but I will have one for the big slate on Wednesday. We don't have any hockey games on Thursday, and then Friday I will be traveling all day, so unfortunately will not have any NHL content out for that, but I will be back on track on the NFL side of things this week. And what you can expect there is a Thursday breakdown for the Thanksgiving slate, and then obviously I'll be traveling again on Friday. Once I get back into Denver, I'll do my cash games video, and then on Saturday, I'll have my GPP plays video for the Week 12 main slate. But again, if you want to join my Discord channel, there's a link in the description below on this video, and I'll be sure to keep everyone updated there as well with where I'm at in terms of content. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for this Monday slate. First, starting with that first line for the St. Louis Blues, we got Robert Thomas centering Pavel Buchnevich and Jordan Kyrou. A really cheap line stack here with some really good upside and a great matchup at home against the Anaheim Ducks, who just continue to struggle so far this season, allowing 4.33 goals per game, the second most in the NHL, and they have the league's worst penalty kill, just hitting at a 64.1% rate. This is a strong correlated line stack here, being that all three of these guys currently play up on the #1 power play. However, we could see Vladimir Tarasenko play on the right wing tonight. He missed this past weekend because he was sick, but notoriously plays here with Thomas and Buchnevich. Either way, I'm 100% okay with the line stack, whether it's Kyrou or Tarasenko, considering how much I like the matchup at home. And the Blues have started to figure some things out here as of late too. They're currently riding a 6-game winning streak. And then another line stack I like here tonight is that first line for the Calgary Flames. We got Lindholm centering Ruzicka and Toffoli. Another relatively cheap line stack here. I know Toffoli's in the 6K range, but very affordable all things considered. And a great matchup as well against the Philadelphia Flyers, who have really started to slump here as of late. They're 0-4-2 in their last 6 games, allowing 4.5 goals per game, and a penalty kill that is just hit at a 50% rate. Now, we're going to see Lindholm and Toffoli play up on that #1 power play. Ruzicka plays down on the second, but he's played pretty damn well here up on this first line as of late, and obviously very affordable there at $4,300. He's now racked up 4 goals and 3 assists in just his past 4 games. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I got hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. All right, now diving into some of these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. First guy I got there is Jack Eichel of the Vegas Golden Knights, playing the Vancouver Canucks tonight, a team that I've targeted pretty heavily this year. They can certainly put the puck in the back of the net, but they struggle defensively and have not gotten the best goaltending. They've allowed 3.89 goals per game this year and have a penalty kill that's hit at just a 65% rate. And Eichel's been awesome with the Vegas Golden Knights, racking up 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points here in just his past 10 games, while averaging around 4 shots on net per game. There's a lot of top-tier talent at the forward position on this slate, but at $8,200, I like Eichel here, especially considering the matchup. And we're going to go back-to-back jacks there. I like Hughes of the New Jersey Devils as well. Another good matchup at home for him against the Edmonton Oilers, who, just like the Vancouver Canucks, they have no problem scoring goals, but defensively they just are not very good. They've allowed 3.56 goals per game this year and have a penalty kill that's hit at just a 73% rate. We're going to see Hughes play on that second line and play up on the number one power play. Should log around 18-19 minutes here tonight, and has been awesome for the Devils so far this year. He's racked up 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points in just his past 10 games, while averaging around 4.5-5 shots on net per game. He's very capable of having 5 shots on net in this game, getting you that 3-point DraftKings bonus, on top of getting on the score sheet. I then got Filip Forsberg there of the Nashville Predators, who also have a great matchup at home here tonight against the Arizona Coyotes, who are once again one of the worst teams in the NHL. I feel like we've been saying that for years now. They've allowed 3.63 goals per game so far this season. That's the 5th most in the NHL. And Forsberg's been a point per game type of player. 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points through 16 games. In his past 10, he's got 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. And this is a guy who loves to shoot the puck, averaging around 3.5 shots on net per game. We're going to see him play on that first line tonight, play on the number one power play, and should log around 18 minutes. I then got Tim Stützle there of the Ottawa Senators, and I kind of like attacking this game in general tonight between the Senators and the Sharks. Two teams who are not great defensively, but have enough offensive firepower to where they could turn this game into a shootout. I like the price here for Stützle at $5,600 for a guy who's going to play up on the first line, plays on the number one power play, and should log around 20-21 plus minutes here tonight. He gets a lot of ice time, to say the least, and he's been good this year, a point per game type of player, 17 points through 17 games, and if we take a look back at just his last 10, he's racked up 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points during that stretch. I then got Jamie Benn there of the Dallas Stars. Now, last game he did play up on the first line with Jason Robertson and Joe Pavelski, being that Roope Hintz was out with a lower body injury. I hope Hintz plays for the sake of this game, but if he doesn't, I like Jamie Benn even better. He's not only going to center that first line, he'll play up on that number one power play too, and he's been oddly very, very good here as of late. I shouldn't say that like Jamie Benn isn't a good player, but 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points here in his past 10 games, averaging around 18 DraftKings points per game. Considering the price at $4,400, he has been smashing value. I don't think those numbers are sustainable for him going forward, but I'm going to ride him out while he's hot, especially if he's going to be playing on that first line. And then going back to that game between the Senators and Sharks, I like the Sharks' first line of Timo Meier and Thomas Hertl. We can mix in an Erik Karlsson, who plays with those guys on the number one power play, but I really like the price tag here for Logan Couture at $4,300, playing very well here as of late, where he's racked up 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in just his past 6 games, where he's hit double-digit DraftKings points in 5 of those 6 games. Now, he's going to center that second line, but gets time on that number one power play, again in a great matchup at home against the Ottawa Senators, who have struggled defensively and have not gotten the best goaltending so far this season. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, and being that there is so much value at the forward position tonight, especially in the 4K range, I'm going to have no problem spending up for defensemen, and there's a lot of quality defenders on this slate, like Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators. I talked about how good this matchup was at home for the Preds tonight against the Arizona Coyotes, and Josi's a guy who can get it done a number of different ways. He's got 10 points here in his past 10 games, certainly capable of getting on the score sheet. He averages around 3.5 shots on net per game and close to 3 block shots per game as well. He can definitely get you that 3-point DraftKings bonus by shooting the puck or blocking shots. He's going to play on that first defensive pair, play on the number one power play, play on the penalty kill, and should log around 24-25 plus minutes here tonight. And even though I have no problem spending up at the forward or defenseman position here tonight, there's a lot of value in the 4K range here for defensemen too, and I like Noah Hanifin of the Calgary Flames. Again, talked about how good of a matchup this is for the Flames tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers, who have really struggled here over their past 6, and Noah Hanifin just continues to get better with each and every game. I've mentioned this a few times already this year. He started the season slow, but has just progressively gotten better. 6 points here in his past 10, averaging around 3.5 shots on net per game and close to 2 block shots per game as well, which has led to him averaging close to 14 DraftKings points per game over that 10-game stretch. Not bad at all for a guy who's priced in the 4K range. I then got Torrey Krug of the St. Louis Blues. I highlighted how good of a matchup they have at home here tonight against the Anaheim Ducks, and I'm primarily targeting Torrey Krug on on that number 1 power play because, again, the Anaheim Ducks have the league's worst penalty kill, just hitting at a 64% rate. Now, Krug only has 8 points through 17 games this year, but half of those points, or 50% of them, or 4 of them, however you want to look at it, have come on the number 1 power play. In fact, he's actually scored a power play goal here in back-to-back games. You can stack him up with any one of those forwards that I highlighted earlier, giving you a very cheap power play stack and a great matchup, and it will allow you to fill out the rest of your lineup with some high-priced guys. And then wrapping up the defenseman there with Jake Sanderson of the Ottawa Senators, who's essentially had to take over the Thomas Chabot role with him on the IR. We're seeing the rookie play about 24, 25 plus minutes per night on that number 1 power play and on the penalty kill, and he's shown that he can rack up DraftKings points in a number of different ways. He's been shooting the puck more now that he is playing bigger minutes. I would like him to shoot the puck just a little bit more, though, on a consistent basis, but he's also got 9 points in 17 games. He can get on the score sheet, and he averages around 2 block shots per game, too, certainly capable of getting you that 3-point DraftKings bonus by blocking 3 shots in a game. And again, I love the matchup here tonight against the San Jose Sharks, but ultimately, it comes down to the minutes that he's playing on the special teams, considering he's priced at $4,300. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you tonight. There are some nicer, higher-priced goaltenders, but I love the value that we're getting out of these two guys here. First being Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars, who's been great to start the season with a 7-2-1 record, a goals allowed average of 2.21, and a save percentage of .927 with 9.4 goals save above expected. That's the 3rd best in the NHL. And then I got Connor Hellebuyck there of the Winnipeg Jets, who do have a tough matchup at home here tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes, but what I do love is the Carolina Hurricanes love to shoot the puck. That's obviously great for goaltenders, and Bucky has been very good for the Jets with a 8-4-1 record, a goals allowed average of 2.07, and a save percentage of .935. Those are really solid numbers. I mean, nothing as good as his 11.3 goals save above expected. That is the 2nd best in the NHL. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub 4K forward plays. Honestly, I'm not really in love with the 2 to 3K range for forwards tonight. I think there's a lot of value in the 4K range, as you can obviously see on the spreadsheet. But I did come up with 3 guys that were viable below 4K if you want to go that route. First being Adam Henrique of the Anaheim Ducks, currently playing up on that first line in number 1 power play, and he's been very good here as of late, with 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points in just his past 8 games, where he's averaging over 12 DraftKings points per game. Next is Nino Niederreiter of the Nashville Predators, playing on the second line in number 2 power play. He's currently riding a 3-game goal streak right now, and has a great matchup to expand on that tonight at home against the Arizona Coyotes. And then Pavel Zacha there, I like him a lot more if he's going to be playing on that second line with David Krejci and David Pastrnak. We saw them switch lines about halfway through last game. It could very well be Taylor Hall, so do keep an eye on that. But if Zacha's up on that second line in number 2 power play, I love the price here at $2,800. He's now got 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in his past 10 games. And then to wrap up this video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. We'll keep this short and sweet because I don't have the best setup here on the road. First thing though, as you all know, I'm going to go through all of these picks here individually, and I'll let you know my favorite picks in a comment below on this video at some point here today, and I'll pin that comment as well. But don't forget, I am posting these picks in my Discord too. If you want to join that, link in the description below. And for those of you who have not signed up for Prize Picks yet, but want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely be taking advantage of. When you sign up, use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Again, you don't have to put $100 in. You want to put in 50, they'll match 50. You want to put in 20, they'll match that $20. They will match anything up to $100. Again, as long as you're using my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 10-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.